Okay, cool. So yesterday we went through the contact your professional profile, and the difference between a CV and a resume and how a CV should look.
Okay.
Today, I'm just going to continue from experience, what you need to put in experience section, education section, and the additional section like your technical skills, some of the skills you have that is not directly linked to the industry but can be of immense benefit to an organization. Then maybe your
Okay.
hobbies, that's how you can add hobbies, and how to tailor your CV for a specific industry. So I say them allow your experience tell the story. So what should be in the experience section? I say first the section that should appear in the body of an excellent resume is the section that will best show off your skills and accomplishment. And when you write in CV, for instance, those days we move our experience to the second page or the third page. We like to put a lot of jargons in front. But with today's world, it's a very fast-paced world. So we rather have our
Okay.
experience in the first page. At least our latest experience should appear on the first page. You know. So how do you write your experience? So when you start writing a resume experience section, you will want to keep a few things in mind, like writing your job history in reverse chronological order. That is starting from your
Okay.
most recent to your earliest role. Then when
Okay.
you have included your CV in chronological order, you should also include about 6 bullet points describing the scope of your work. You get what I'm saying? Some of us those days we also make that mistake of trying to put everything that we've done in one particular organization. You don't need to put everything, but catching, um, the most catching responsibilities should be captured in at least six bullet points. You can go to 7, 8, but 8 to me it's like you are on the boundary. 6 is recommended. So also you need to tailor each of your bullet point to reflect your skills, you know, listed in the job description. So like the
Okay.
job description and your skills, so like your responsibility, you should also have some of your skills in your responsibility. For example, if you say you work in an agile environment, you could include that while you wrote test cases or you raised bug using Jira.
Okay. Okay.
So when you say using Jira, automatically the employer or prospective employer knows that you are someone that has Jira experience. You are someone that
Okay.
also have agile Scrum experience. You don't just say that
Okay.
you raise bug and you end it that way. It doesn't tell any story. You know,
Okay.
yeah. And also, I say you should follow your bullet point in the format below. So I will show you a sample format and also try to include your achievement that showcase your professional impact. So normally, the format, I'll show you the format for sure, but the format should be the organization, your years of employment there, your responsibility. It is also good to include your achievement. For instance, if you were able to find a bug that led to the organization saving a lot of money, which if it had gone out could have caused a huge impact. That could be an achievement. If you help the team to deliver a project successfully that led to reduction in cost, you got what I'm saying? When you put things like that, they
Okay.
understand that yes, you know that your job responsibility is not just about testing, but you are also helping the organization to improve their efficiency and effectiveness. These are the things that employers want to see and also tend to judge you in terms of your understanding of your responsibility and your role, and also that your career story, you should also tell a career story that reinforce your professional persona. You get what I'm saying? adding all those professional information in your CV. So here is a simple example. I used a business analyst as an example. So you see the title of your job, business analyst, business system analyst. The
Okay.
company, Amazon Corporation, the years of employment between 2009 and 2017. Then then your responsibility follows. You get what I'm saying?
Is that the one at the bottom?
The one at the top, not the
The
one
three,
the one
the
at the
three,
bottom.
the three. No, I mean the right. I understand. I'm talking of the 3 bullet points.
Yeah. So if you
Okay.
look through the bullet point very well for this one that I use, it says like the third bullet
Okay.
point says completed in-depth analysis for business optimization project, boosting revenue by what 11%. So if you say as a tester you help deliver a project that boosted revenue, you help
Okay.
deliver the project successfully without any live issue, and which led to the boosting of revenue by 11%. You get what I'm saying? That shows
Yes.
that you have a huge impact and um, a huge contribution to your team and organization. If you see the wrong one, it says fixed fulfillment process for customers service rep. That does not really tell a lot of story. Added a customer service process to handle refund requests. Yes, but what is the impact? So you must add what you've done and the impact to the organization, because the prospective employer is looking for someone that will come and help them to solve problems. You understand
Okay.
what I'm saying? And you want to show that yes, you have done it before and you can do it for them.
Okay.
Yeah. Any question?
No. So yes. What I just want to know is obviously because you are as a software tester,
Yes.
isn't that what you should be doing within an organization in the first place? I mean, this is your job to when you detect bugs and where and you have to complete projects. Obviously, whoever if you are doing a job and you're not completing a project or a software has gone live and there's a bug in it, then that means that you're not doing your job.
Yeah, but
It's, it's
how do
like a
you?
taxi driver. It's
Yes.
like a taxi driver that is supposed to take somebody from
Mm.
point A to point B
Yeah.
safely, and eventually the person is not doing that after being paid. That means the person is not doing their job.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but you should now understand the point of view that we are trying to capture. You are trying to sell
Okay.
yourself to the organization. So if you're a taxi
Okay.
driver that has driven people all over the world, it is left for you to now come out and boast about it.
Okay.
So your CV is all about boasting. That's why I said from the beginning, your CV or your resume is like someone trying to toast a lady. Your impression matters. You cannot put on a tattered cloth and come and
Okay.
talk to a lady. If you have
Okay.
the biggest car, you show her off that this is my car. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
I have XYZ businesses. It's making a
Okay.
lot of millions. So that's what
Okay. I
we are trying to
understand.
do here.
There's no need in that kind of a situation. You don't have to be humble.
Though you don't you're not meant to be humble in any way. So whatever you have
Okay.
achieved, we know that your responsibility is to test application and ensure that
Okay.
it you ensure the successful delivery of the
Okay.
product. But you still need to tell. If you don't tell, how would I know that you've done it before?
That's true.
Mm. And
So it's a case of show and tell.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I
And boast
understand
as much
now.
as you can, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So adding the date as well. I say there are sometimes that you might be in job gap. You know what I'm saying? So one of the approach when you are in a job gap is to also add your date correctly, the month and year of start and the month and year of finishing. Some people, because they have job gap, they try to put it just the year to assume that it is a full year, like 2005 to 2016. No, if it's January 2005 to February 2016, put it there. Then if you
Okay.
have a gap, you can now tell them why. You can now include a section in between to tell them why you have the gap. Some of the example I added is that maybe you relocated. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
You can say your company downsizes, but I don't like the word downsizing. But maybe you decide to go on sabbatical. You now, you went to school. You say you just
Okay.
graduated. You know what I'm saying? You can say, okay,
Yeah.
you stop work so that you can go and grab this degree that you've always wanted to get. So now you are back
Okay.
at work. So by so doing, they will see that yes, you are not a risky candidate and you are someone that is reliable, you know.
Okay.
So, but when you exclude month from your um, employment history, employers don't like that. They don't want to
Okay.
second guess. Agency don't like that. They don't want to second guess.
Okay.
So once they see that
Okay.
see you that you have done that, first and foremost, there is a suspicion about you, the candidate. Then secondly, they just dump your CV in the bin and forget about you completely. So I say feel free to list. Yeah,
You mean they won't even put you as a backup?
no. Well,
They
I,
dump
I
you.
will not give you a direct answer. It is not a
Okay.
good thing to do. You
All
know what I'm
right.
saying? I
Okay.
don't know what one person might dump the CV in a bin. Another employer might put you as a backup. A third employer
Okay.
might decide to call you and ask you why. Can you or
Okay.
tell you to? But you don't want that unnecessary stress. You know.
Yeah.
Mm. So I
So why
say,
not just give them what they want,
yes. So
what they
as
need?
what we are trying to do here is just to sell yourself as much as possible. You know,
Okay.
you want a situation whereby when an employer or an agent calls you, they compliment your CV first. You know, I have been in that position several times. You have a wonderful CV. You know, they will always tell you if they like your CV, and they don't know me. They've
If
never
you
seen me before. But if I don't have a good CV, they don't care.
and that's the position I want to put myself in.
That's
I
why we
want
are
a
doing
situation where
this.
they will compliment me and say, "Oh, Mr. Joshua, well done. You have a very impressive CV."
Yeah, that's fine. We'll get there. That's why we are starting
Okay.
with this. You know, so there is a pro tip here. Say feel free to list non-traditional work in your experience section, like volunteer job or freelancing work. So you've done some freelancing as well. You get what I'm saying? You can add
Okay.
that to it. You know?
You mean as somebody who builds
Yeah,
websites,
yeah. You build which type of website again?
WordPress,
Self? WordPress website. Yeah.
WordPress.
So that shows related experience as well.
Okay.
All right. So that is your experience section covered. So you can have it's just going to be the same thing. You're just going to do 2 3 times. If you want to add 3 different organizations, you do the same thing. It's just the same template you use. So then the next thing is your educational section. You know, don't forget the power of dynamic educational section. So your education section, you should also write your educational section of your resume in reverse chronological order. So everything is going to be reverse chronological order with your most recent degree appearing first at the top. So usually you will want to include the following: type of degree, your major, your university, and any honor or award you received. But try to skip your GP, your grade. Some people, except you have first class, you know, 2-1, yeah, you can put it, but nobody cares about that too much. even when they put it as part of the job requirement that a graduate from science related field with 3.5 GP, no, or minimum 2.1, when you send your CV there, you still get called, you know. So sometimes they want to see who has a faint heart not to dare them. But it is always advisable not to really to just keep your GPA in your educational section. So I have an example here. You know, you can look at the right, Stanford University, MA in Computer Science, Stanford, California, 2012. You know, while on the left hand side we've got BSc in Computer Science. You know, Candel University. He put the BSc first instead of the university first. So the university first, then the major and the year of
Okay.
graduation. Some people still put date from and date to. It is not necessary. All you need to put is your year of graduation. Simple.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. After your educational section, you can now add. Now you have covered your contact, your profile, your experience, and your education. You get what I'm saying? These are the key
Yeah.
things that will definitely grab the prospective employer. However, you can now have some additional section that can add more information about you, you know, to show more of your skills. You get what I'm saying? So this is like adding an additional section that focus on your skills. Oops. So I say focus on your skills section to increase your interview chance. You get what I'm saying? Your career fine, everything fine, but still some employer request some additional skills. So I say when you consider how to make a good resume that stands out, it has everything to do with sprinkling your skills throughout your resume. So your skills should be in your profile. Your skills should also come in your experience, and your skills should also come in a particular section. You can give a section your like IT skills, for instance, and then add all those your additional skills that you have that could be valuable to the organization. You know. So I say also you can use skills to list in the job description. So like as I said initially, if you have your responsibilities and you say you raise bug using Jira, you get what I'm saying? Part of your
Yeah.
skills can be from that your responsibility. You can now pick some of those skills and add it to your specific skills section. So you can add additional skills that did not appear in your responsibilities plus the ones that appeared in your responsibilities, because obviously it shows that you are using the skills to add value to organizations that you work with. You know, so because as recruiters always like to look at two things when they are looking at your section. You have the skill set they want and require in the job that they post. So they want to see if you have the skill set that is required in the job, and also to see if you have extra skills that can prove valuable for them and other workers in the organization. So at the end of the day, is how you can add value to that organization. That is what they are trying to um, see demonstrated in your CV. So I have an example here. You see proficient in Scrum, Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, Keynote, PHP, MySQL, Google Doc, blah, blah, blah. Project scheduling, project strategy, exceptional verbal and written communication. This verbal and written communication, it is it is always key in every job today, even before. You must be able to speak. You must be able to communicate in writing as well. So you can add it in a way that this, like the bullet point said, exceptional verbal and written communication skills. Exceptional. They'll say, oh, okay, that sounds good. You know, even if you're lying, yeah, they will want to see, they will want to communicate, they want to verify if what you are boasting about is true. And for them to verify that, they will have to call you. You get what I'm saying? If someone just say verbal and communication skills, they'll say, okay, I don't know what level you have.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Hello?
You know, in the left in the one that is right, it says proficient in Scrum, MS Office, PowerPoint, Keynote. Is this related to software testing?
Okay. Which I will answer your question with questions. Is that fine?
Yes.
So, which job today will not require MS Office?
I mean,
Any job that
basically,
you need to write emails, create documents, you get what I'm saying? Type things.
yeah.
So, uh,
Mm.
so that is important. Google Docs, they might not be using Google Docs there, but because you know how you've used a document management system, they will feel that okay, you can easily learn and understand how their own specific document management system works. So
Okay.
all of this ties together. Although this particular skill set that are added there, they are a bit generic. You get what I'm saying? They are not
Yeah.
specific to
Yeah.
QA
Yeah.
because this slide is more generic to either QA, business analyst, project management. You can use this presentation. I didn't make it. I tried not to make it specific, but I can
Okay.
customize it in a specific way as well. But the focus is that
Okay.
whatever skills you want to display, you display it here and put it in a very concise manner and descriptive so that nobody second guesses you. Rather, they
Okay.
understand what you're saying clearly.
Okay.
Yeah. Any question?
No.
Okay. So, so the additional resume section that we stand out as well. We still have some additional resume section. So, what do we have in the additional resume section? I say here are some additional resume section that you can add that will make your CV stand out. Like if you're a student or a fresh graduate, but let me leave that side. If you've got technical background or if you're writing a professional resume, so if you're writing a professional resume, for instance, if oh sorry, just 1 second, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dashi, time o money kò má sùn. Náà ẹ ṣe ni.
You're right, basic kitchen. And let me bring the
Go to bed.
Why can't practice?
learn now. Just so I can anyway. Please let me bring the chocolate in the fridge.
Dashi, go to bed.
Mom,
I'm not talking about it.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. So I said one of the bullet points there talked about your professional. If you're writing a professional CV rather than for academic purpose, and if you have like a publication, or if you have like you say you build website. If you have a website that
Yes.
you've built for someone before, you could include that there in the additional section. Whatever achievement or something that you've done extra. All of this shows you are trying to bring out the best of your personality out through that CV. And things like this can make you stand out against someone that also is equally good or equally has a good CV to demonstrate their own skills. But when you have these additional skills, they will understand that okay, this person has done a lot personally and professionally and can definitely add value because I'll keep repeating this word. Organizations are looking for people that can add value and solve problems for them. And what you're trying to
Okay.
show them is that yes, I can add value and I can solve problems. Okay.
Okay. You know that section that you said I will show that I've built websites.
Yeah.
Do you have to be specific and say, okay, this is the website, this is the site that I built, or
Yeah.
you,
If it's not going to take too much space,
okay,
you get what I'm saying? You are managing your space as well, and you want to make it relevant to the prospective employer. Okay.
okay,
Yes. When you create your CV, we'll definitely review it to see if,
okay,
when it's good enough and what we can add
all
or
right,
remove. So for hobbies, you know, generally we know we need to also add hobby. And what is the essence of hobby, or what is the benefit of having a hobby on your CV? I say the hobby section of a resume is optional, but I recommend adding one if you have space. Adding your interest shows off extra skills for your resume, makes your resume stand out and gives the hiring manager a fuller image of you. Your interests are also a way of making yourself more attractive and memorable to your potential employer. We interviewed someone. I was part of the interviewing board. The guy was great. He has enough technical skills, but his his hobby section shows a very boring person, and even his personality also shows a boring person. So because of that, the owner of the company says, because we are very very bubbly in that place, they are not sure that
okay.
he can fit
Will fit in.
culturally. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the things that your
That's very
hobby section
important.
can also tell the prospective employer. So I say let your hobbies speak for themselves. Each hobby should be
For example,
specific, short,
if you're a
and
football
direct.
fan,
Pardon?
I said, for example, if you're a football fan and the
Yeah,
manager
people.
is a football fan,
Yeah, you can imagine you put football. You can't put Arsenal, and the prospective employer is an Arsenal fan. Quickly, you join up. But if he's not an Arsenal fan, you're in trouble. You know. If you say you love watching and playing football, to keep you fit.
okay,
Like you love watching and playing football to keep you fit. Okay, this
okay,
it shows that this guy is an active person. He's
okay,
not someone that goes back home and just relax on the sofa. And when you are active, you are when you are an active person physically, it also helps you mentally as well.
okay.
So if you want to add football, say you like watching and playing football to keep yourself fit. If you add to keep yourself fit, not just watching and playing, or not just like playing football. I like playing football to keep myself fit. Like the example here, the wrong one says reading, but reading Russian literature, reading contemporary story, reading about history, reading about technology. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
Traveling around the world to meet new people, or traveling around the world to educate myself. Not just traveling. We used to just put traveling, love traveling. Meeting new people, or interested in people, or meeting new people because I'm interested in people. You see, it is short, but okay. He is interested in people. I don't know if that rings a better bell to you than meeting people.
For example, if I'm to write something in my resume, I'm a musician and a
Yeah.
photographer, so I have to be more specific. The kind of
Mm.
music. Okay, so I will say, look, I play the saxophone, and I'm a jazz musician. I play the saxophone. You
Mm.
understand? You are being more specific.
Yeah.
And then, if you're into photography, what kind of photography are you into? You understand?
Mm.
If it's travel photography, whereby you love landscapes.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm just giving an example. I might be
Yeah,
wrong,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I just
And as you are giving me the example, you are painting a picture of yourself. You get what I'm saying?
okay.
When you say you play the saxophone and whatever, I say, okay, this person is someone that likes I'm not I'm not an expert in music, but it tells me the brand of music you like, and the brand of music is a bit of a more matured music. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that will give me a picture of who you are as a person. If I can tie your music, I can now say, okay, this is someone that is not an aggressive person, is a cool person. That I can now infer.
Okay.
Or if I Google saxophone, people that listen to saxophone, it will give me their characteristics.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what the hobbies section is for. It's not just to just say I like music. Case closed. Okay, who doesn't like music? You know? Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
All right. So then the final one. What about reference? Don't give the name and contact details of your reference on your resume. That is a no-no at all.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
you should simply state that reference are available on request. Employer will ask you for details of if they want to employ, if they are ready to offer you the position. That is when they will ask you for a reference. And I still put the same thing.
Okay.
Simply add reference will be provided on demand, or reference are
Okay.
available on demand.
Okay.
So this slide, I will send it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes, there is one more. There is two more. Okay, everything I've captured so far, I want to now summarize it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I will summarize it so that we'll see the full picture rather than going through all the pages. I will summarize it in one page, from the
Okay.
contact to your to summary or professional profile to your experience. After your experience, your education. After your education, your additional section like your skill set. Then any other additional skill set that you wanted to add, you can put that in. Plus the reference which we've talked about as well, and your um, hobbies. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.